Right, it's a balmy 9 degrees here today, so I thought it'd be a good time to build a fire in the shop, come in and do a little archery stuff, and check out some stuff I ordered a while back because it's from China. So this is from Temu or whatever it is. These are archery things. So it took a while for them to get here. They were very cheap. Up front, I'd like to say I don't generally say order cheap Chinese knockoffs of stuff. I would say buy them from the American companies and keep all that support, you know, with the companies you love. This is just kind of to see how they compare. I do think that the lighted Nocks that we are buying now from companies, whether it be Luminoc or Nocturnal or any of the other ones, they're not very good. I've had not very good success with them. Like if I buy a pack of 3, seems like within a week one of them is not working very good. Doesn't seem to stay lit, or not very consistent about lighting up. And then to send that back, it's like pulling teeth. So it's just, most people just don't even do it. It's not worth it. And that's their business model. So I don't mind it so much with the lighted Nocks because again, I think we're getting a pretty subpar product in the long run. But a couple other things. This is an aperture kit with a peep sight and an aperture kit. I want to say this was $5 or $6, and I'll put the actual prices on there. But you can see this one's red, and it actually comes with different apertures that go in there. I don't know if it, we'll see. It's got 1/16, 3/32, and 1/8. 45 degree. So I got a red one of those and I got a black one of those. I don't know if it's worth doing or not, but I thought I might put that on a bow and just kind of see what it does, how it works. Same thing, just a different color. Those were really cheap. So what I really wanted to get to today was these lighted Nocks. I got 2 different ones. I want to say one of them was closer to $15 and the other one was more like $12. But you're getting 6 of them in this pack. And then in this pack, I believe those are going to be red. And these are going to be green, and there are 6 in this pack as well. And you can see that's just all you get. You get 6 of them. And these are supposed to be for the .246 or like the GT model. When you're looking at Nocturnals and Luminocs, they'd be for that GT model. So first thing, let's put them on a scale and see how consistent they are. First one we're going to go with is these right here, the Genzed or something like that. Weight's always the big issue with these. These look huge. I don't know if we'll see. We'll see how they compare to an actual Nocturnal, but they look monstrous. 28.6, 28.4, 28.4, 28.4, 28.4, 28.4. In comparison, these would be Luminocs, 26.2, 26.2, and 26.2. So the Luminocs came in exactly the same. We're a couple grains different in weight overall. As far as the size goes, they're not really as different as I thought they'd be. The battery on this end looks a little bigger, so that's probably where you're getting the 2 grain difference. This the actual Luminoc looks a lot smaller, but everything else looks pretty good. It's got a little deeper throat to it, more like the Nocturnals would have. Let me grab a Nocturnal. So this is a Nocturnal for a micro, and if you look at how deep the throat is on that, it's a lot more like a Nocturnal as opposed to the Luminoc. Luminoc seems like it has a little smaller throat, not by as much as I thought, but just a little bit. These are pretty deep, so I don't know if that'll make a difference or not, but it is something to think about. And this is a micro. It's for a .4, so it's a lot smaller. Luminoc doesn't make a good micro in my opinion, so I don't have any of those to compare, and I don't have any Nocturnals with me. If these fit, I'll go buy some Nocturnals so we can compare them all, but you can see way bigger than the Nocturnal, but consistent. So if you bought a bunch of them, I guess you'd be consistent. One other thing on these supposedly turn on and off real easy with this little light, this little button on the side. So I don't know if they want you to turn these on before you shoot. No, it pushes it forward. Okay. I like the little button on the side. They seem plenty bright in here. Maybe not as bright as a Luminoc, but they are bright enough. I love that you can turn them off without having to have a pocket knife or anything on you at the time, something sharp to twist in there. All right, all the red ones came on and worked. pretty consistent in size. Let's go to the green ones. These green ones, I don't even have a bag. They came unlisted on what they are. A little different style. Interesting. So that battery is going to push up against it, and that's how it's going to come on. I don't see a great way for it to turn off. What's weird is the batteries all come pushed out, and then you got to push them up, I guess, to get them like you want them, and then shoot them. We'll shoot these, kind of figure out, but there's no activator here in the throat of the Nock. Nothing's going to activate it there, and I'm guessing just the movement of this battery is supposed to activate it. It's kind of a strange way of doing that, but when they do activate and come on, they look pretty bright. This green one looks really good, bright. I don't have any complaints with it. It's just a weird way to activate it and then turn it off. So let's check the consistency. 20 grains, 19.6, 20, 19.8, 20, and 19.8. So these are not as consistent. The way they turn on and off is not as consistent either. So far we've got a huge difference in size. We've got a huge difference in how they're activated, in their grains, and the throat of these are very different too. If you look at how these green ones have a kind of a smaller throat on the Nock, more like a Nocturnal probably would. You can see they're a lot more similar. I'm sorry, the Nocturnal, the Luminoc is a lot more similar to that one. Even though it's bigger, it's got a lot more similar throat of the Nock. Let's see if they fit in an actual gold tip arrow. See how they're going to go. These are the green ones that are 20 grains. Pretty good fit, oddly enough. That actually fits really pretty good. I was afraid I was going to have to bag them or they'd be too big. I know I could put a dial caliper on them and get super scientific about it, but the main thing is that one's a little looser. So that one's a little loose. That one's a little loose, but it'd probably work. I might bag that one if I was gonna. That one fits good. That one fits good. So out of the 6, 2 of them were a little loose, but not bad necessarily. Now to the red ones that are a little bigger, a little heavier. Jeez, not even close. Not even close. Those are just, wow. So if we look at the, they actually did come with a box. It says, so the actual box says S-LED Nock for arrow with .206, .244 inside diameter. Well, not so much, because they did not fit these gold tips, which I'm pretty sure are a .244 diameter. And on here, on the other one, the green ones, they are for a .266 or .244, and they fit great. All right, so problem number 1. So these green ones seem to fit really good in these gold tip arrows. So I'm going to shoot these green ones a little bit and see if they come on consistently and make sure they don't shatter and shatter my bow and everything else. That is one thing I worry about with cheaper Nocks, is if any of this breaks off and the arrow slips off of the Nock, essentially dry firing your bow, and not a good way to break your bow. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we're not breaking any bows. All right, we're going to be testing this with the 70-pound PSC Levitate. We got a 0 on the first one. Seems like that one came on for a second, but didn't stay on. And over 3 on Nocks lighting up. What you're hearing there is the battery flying out of these and actually smacking the front of your field tip or your insert, I guess, and it kind of mushroomed it out. So I don't know any other way to they could possibly expect you to do this. You just push them in and they come on, and it's like, I guess they want you to leave them on. There's, again, no instructions. But if you get them to where they're just barely off of it and then shoot it, the battery flies out. So I'll try to get that one again where it just barely, like it's off. Same deal. On for a second and then off. Nothing. The battery stayed in, I think. Battery stayed in, but we still have no ignition. So I guess you got to turn it on, and it's just going to stay on forever. It actually goes off when you shoot it. It doesn't, like, even when it's on, it doesn't stay on when it hits the target. So yeah, these are junk. Don't buy those. Alright, so these bigger ones that actually have like the little switch on them that turn them on and off. I have high expectations for these, except for the fact that they don't fit any arrows. They don't. I've had Black Eagles, I've had GTs, I've had Micros. I can't get them to fit any of them properly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to bag them. And this is the biggest I've ever had to bag, so we'll see. I don't know how much I expect this to work. Alright, so that's 2 layers of a Walmart bag. I would not recommend doing this for any kind of actual arrow you planned on hunting with. There's no way this is going to be as accurate as one that actually fits snugly. So it's snug enough it won't fall out, but it's still super not right. So here's what we've done. I bagged this. This is the red ones that are a little bigger. They've got a power switch on the side. I've bagged it, and it's still a little loose. So what I'm going to do is take a little piece of tape, and I'm actually going to tape where it connects there. Now this is not, like, I would never hunt this. I would never shoot this for any other reason than to test this. To test and see, does it come on when you shoot it? I just don't want it to fly off as soon as it hits the target and the actual knot go flying through the air. So hopefully it's going to stay on enough that we can see if it'll actually activate. Activates well. Came on first try, and this is the best part. To turn it off, you just push the button. Because this is not designed for this arrow, I mean, there's a lot of movement on this nock. It's probably not safe to shoot. It's probably... Alright, so at this point, here's my thoughts. This giant one that weighs more than a nocturnal nock, if you could find an arrow that actually fit the internal diameter of this, it might not be bad. The way it comes on, it's plenty bright. It's activated like every other one where the string hits it and it activates. This one's got potential. I just got to find an arrow that can shoot it. These green ones, yeah, I don't have a purpose for them at all in this world. I don't know how you would use this. You can't activate it other than by pushing the battery into it. So I guess you got to turn it on, put it in the arrow, and then sit and wait and hope something comes out. It's very bright. The Nocks very bright. It does the LED part's great. The functionality of it is useless. So no matter how much they sell this for, don't buy this. I'm going to try to find an arrow for this one. I'm not giving up on this one just yet. It's got potential.